Hi friends, it's me, Miss McCrae. So for today's I Can statement, it says, I can draw music. But how do you draw something that you can't actually see? So we're going to look at this artist, Vasily Kandinsky, to get some ideas about how to draw music. He is well known for abstract works of art like this that are full of different colors, shapes, and lines, but it doesn't actually have anything in it that you can see and give a name to. And Kandinsky used music to inspire the colors and shapes and lines that he put in his abstract art. So I have this book that's actually a true story about Kandinsky's life, starting when he was a boy, and it talks about how he got some of his ideas for drawing music. So this is called the Noisy Paintbox. The colors and sounds of Kandinsky's abstract art. Vasily Kandinsky spent his days learning to be a proper Russian boy. He studied books full of math, science, and history. There he is studying. He practiced piano scales and the marching click of the metronome. He sat stiff and straight at dressed-up dinners while grown-ups talked and talked. Vasily's well-off world was perfectly polite until the day his aunt gave him a small wooden paintbox. Every proper Russian boy should appreciate art, said Auntie. She showed Vasily how the correct way to mix the colors on the paintbox palette. Vasily mixed red with yellow, then mixed red with blue. And as the color changed, he heard a whisper, hiss, louder, hiss, and then louder, hiss. What's that sound? Asked Vasily. I don't hear a thing, said Auntie. He listened as his brush swirled and swished. The swirling colors trailed like an orchestra tuning up for a musical symphony. Mama, Papa, he called. What a noisy paintbox. Silly Vasily, said Papa. Stop being foolish, said Mama. Vasily painted the sound of the colors. He spun a bright lemon circle into the canvas, and it clicked like the highest notes on the keyboard. He brushed a navy rectangle that vibrated deeply like the lowest cello strings. He tossed up jagged swatches of blaring crimson and added cheerful dots of bubbling green. Clinging orange and tinkling violet. He painted and he painted until all the colors went quiet. Look what I made, shouted Vasily. There he is, running down the stairs with his artwork. Is it a house? Asked Auntie. Is it a flower? Said Mama. What is it supposed to be? Asked Papa. It's music, said Vasily, waltzing his painting around the house. Calm down, said Mama. Do some math, said Papa. Heavens, said Auntie. This boy needs a proper art lesson. So Vasily went to art class, and he learned to draw houses and flowers, just like everyone else. As the years passed, Vasily finished school and studied to be a lawyer. He ignored his noisy paintbox and lived the way people expected. But Vasily couldn't ignore the sounds of the colors singing to him on the streets of Moscow. The canary-colored mailbox whistling as he rode to work. The scarlet haze ringing above the ancient Kremlin walls. And an ivory chorus of snowflakes scattered on the edge of his collar. One evening, Fosse attended the opera. As the orchestra's music clashed around him, the sounds of the Noisy Paintbox twirled wildly in his mind. Stomping lines of orange and coral, caroling triangles of white and red, thundering arches of blue and black with small points of green and yellow. Fosse heard the colors singing, and he saw the music dancing. And Fosse was never quite as proper again. He quit his job teaching law, and he moved from Moscow to Munich to be a painter. He studied with this famous teacher and then that one. Fosse wanted to paint the colors that he heard, but maybe famous teachers knew best. So they asked, is it a house? Is it a flower? What is it supposed to be? So once again, Fosse put houses and flowers and animals and people into his paintings. Just like everyone expected. The teachers were happy, but he was not. His artist friends understood. They too were tired of painting pretty landscapes and pretty ladies. They thought art needed to change. Art should make you feel, Fosse told them, like music. Exactly, said his friends, but none of them knew how to paint feelings until the day that Fosse grew brave enough and invited the whole world to see the paintings roaring from his noisy paintbox. There's some of the sounds that you can hear from his music, from his artwork: bash and rattle and zip, zoom, tweet, whistle, squeak. Snapping red points, crunching orange squares, whispering black lines. Fosse named these paintings after the music he loved: improvisation, composition, movement, and simply 3 sounds. With his noisy paintbox, Fosse Kandinsky created something entirely new: abstract art. It took a long time for people to understand. Is it a house? Is it a flower? What is it supposed to be? It's my art, Fosse answered. How does it make you feel? So here at the end of the book, you can see some more of Fosse's abstract paintings that were based on music. And you might have noticed during a lot of the story, it asked how the music and the colors make you feel. So Fosse actually had this condition called synesthesia, where the sounds that he heard actually had him see music in his head. This is something rare that some people have. And even if you don't have synesthesia, though, you can kind of imagine what colors go with different feelings or different sounds. So if I was to do something that was a really high note, I might use a color like yellow that's really bright. Or if I was to do something like a low note, then I might use some darker colors like blue or purple. You can also use color to help you draw the feelings. So if you were to draw a song that sounded kind of sad, you could maybe use colors that remind you of things that are sad, like blues or grays. If you're going to do a song that's has more energy in it, that's maybe a dance song, you can use colors like orange or red that can make people feel like they want to move. You can also use different kinds of lines. So if we look at this painting, We see some scribbling lines, some curved lines, even a couple straight lines to show the different parts of the music. When you're ready, get out a piece of paper, some tools to draw or paint with, and put on some music. If you're not sure what to do, when the music starts, just kind of close your eyes and start moving your hand. You might come up with some abstract art as cool as Kandinsky. And if you don't like the first thing that you do, you can always grab another paper and do another one. Can't wait to see what you create. Bye.